Hello friends, Adam here with FED. Today we're going to be talking about all those polls that I've been posting over the past maybe 4 or 5 days about Fire Emblem and its art styles and which ones you think have the best art style. So before we get started, I do want to say that there is now another poll up including the winners of each of the polls that were previously posted. So on that poll, we have Fire Emblem Three Houses, Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, and Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Now, I want to talk about these results that we have here, but please feel free to go and vote on that current poll. There'll be a link to it in the description. You can also just find it on the community tab on my channel page. So please go vote on that, and then we'll have another video discussing that and why we came to that conclusion as a group. Anyways, I want to talk about a few different things, and I've purposely left the question vague, which FE has the best art style, rather than saying which Fire Emblem has the best portraits, which Fire Emblem has the best animations, which Fire Emblem has the best, map sprites, whatever. I purposely kept it pretty general, just so you guys could interpret it the way you wanted to, and in general, just kind of take everything as a whole, And I was pretty surprised by a few of the results. And I guess before we get into that, I'll tell you why, my reasoning for putting which games together on the polls. I didn't do it randomly, but I essentially did it randomly in a way. I just did like every other game from the beginning and then every other game from the end and then met in the middle. So, I did one FE1, FE3, and then I did FE16, FE14. The next one was FE2, FE4, then FE15, FE13 until we got to the middle. So there wasn't any rhyme or reason to it besides that pattern. So I wasn't like purposely placing games anywhere. I saw a few people talking about that. No, I just kind of randomly did it, and the outcome is what we have. So I realized that some games may not have been given a fair shake because they were put up against like some of the juggernauts, we'll say, or the more recent popular games like Three Houses. But I think overall we have a pretty good list for the finals. So I first want to talk about I think the one that surprises me most that won. I'm honestly surprised that Radiant Dawn did as well as it did. I'm interested to see how Radiant Dawn especially does compared to Path of Radiance in the final poll. So Radiant Dawn beat out New Mystery of the Emblem, Blazing Blade, and Thracia 776. This is probably me personally was like, I don't want to say it was the most disappointing, but it's probably the most different from what I thought was going to happen. I thought Thracia 776 was going to do a lot better than it did. It only got 12% of the vote. I thought Blazing Blade might win, either for nostalgia's sake or just because there's a lot of comments saying this. I know. Let me find one real quick. Yeah, like from probably Nick, the GBA era is iconic. There are a few other people who just said similar things, but that boils it down basically is that, yeah, the GBA era is just like, that's quintessential Fire Emblem, the way it looks. So I really thought Blazing Blade would do a lot better. But turns out Radiant Dawn, I guess people like that. I don't want to say grounded because it's not grounded at all. It's still really high. It's still like high fantasy stuff going on. Really and pretty colorful, but it's also really washed out. It looks like they took like the color palettes from Path of Radiance and then just turned down the saturation like crazy. It just, everything's kind of more toned down, and I guess people like that. I don't want to say, I guess I could say grittier look, which honestly surprised me. So there's that. I think that's probably the most surprising result. I thought Blazing Blade or FE7 or just Fire Emblem here in the West would take this one, but hey, that's cool. Also, really sad that Fire Emblem Thracia 776 didn't do better because it's probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite in the series. The portraits are just really pretty, and then just like the art style outside of like the game. So like the official art for like every single character has official art, which is really cool, and they're all really gorgeous. So, oh well. The next one I think is Path of Radiance beating out Sacred Stones. I really thought Sacred Stones would win over Path of Radiance. I don't really, other than like just like the image quality itself in game being better, I don't think Path of Radiance deserves to be over Sacred Stones necessarily. But it's your prerogative. Thanks for voting. And I'm not surprised that Shadow Dragon only got 7% of the vote. That one, people don't like Shadow Dragon. They think it's ugly, but that's sad because it's awesome. I think Shadow Dragon is really cool. And New Mystery of the Emblem 2, which only got 6% of the vote in its poll. New Mystery of the Emblem has some really good portraits. I think Martha's really good. Sita's really good. I'm trying to think of other ones that I like. What's her name? The mage girl who portrays you in the prologue. That's gonna kill me if I can't. Katarina, there it is. Yeah, she's cool. Yeah, there's some good good portraits, but whatever. And to no surprise, I think the one that everyone thinks is just gonna win, and I think it has a good chance, is Fire Emblem Echoes: Shadows of Valentia. It won like landslide, 68% of the vote. Just absolutely destroyed Fire Emblem Awakening, Genealogy of the Holy War, and Gaiden. I think it's funny that Gaiden even got 1% of the vote. I was surprised that anyone voted for Gaiden, and if they did, it was probably just to be funny. But yeah, so yeah, I guess it'll do. I just want to express my thoughts, and we'll talk more about design later. But yeah, so that is who won. So it's going to be on the poll that is up right now. Please go vote. Link in the description. Fire Emblem Three Houses, Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, Radiant Dawn, and Path of Radiance. So please go vote. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do. I would really appreciate it. And also make sure to comment on that poll. I plan on reading some of your comments and thoughts on why you actually think that is the best one. That's kind of what I wanted to do today, but it just got so spread out between the 4 different polls that it just didn't work as well. So I want to do this final poll, and I want to read everybody's thoughts and feelings behind their vote. So please take the time to vote, and if you have a minute or you have something in particular you want to say, please write it down in the comments. And be civil, don't be mean to people. Everyone has different opinions. All that good stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time, friends.